Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? What's up, gamers? what did? What have I always told you guys about this? About the court? About the courts? Know your argument. Like those paralegals and lawyers like to say. Know your argument. And you got to be prepared when you go in the courts. See, Phil Spencer. I mean, you filed a lawsuit against Microsoft, then you filed an injunction because you need more time. Phil Spencer already schooled you on the with the house analogy, but now your own economist is unprepared. Listen to this. Says Federal Trade Commission economist witness unprepared to illustrate the size and scope of Activision Megaton games. Know your arguments when you go into courts. Listen to this. Popular Federal Trade Commission principal witness, economist Dr. Robin Lee, missed a valuable opportunity to highlight the sheer magnitude of Activision Blizzard Megaton games. What's up, Tweakdown? Anyway, it says here, despite opinions on the contrary, data shows that Activision Blizzard is a unique video game company. The publisher routinely generates multiple billions, of dollars every year, principally from three major franchises: Call of Duty, Warcraft, and Candy Crush. In my coverage on Microsoft Activision merger, there's been one point that I have reiterated over and over. Activision is an absolute massive force in the video game industry. Yep. It says here, unfortunately, this is something that the FTC, Federal Trade Commission key witness, the economist Dr. Robin Lee, failed to adequately demonstrate to federal judge Jacqueline Scott Corley. Lee provide with a valuable opportunity to illustrate the full magnitude of Activision Blizzard King presence in the industry. Says here, Judge Corley asks Lee specifically, what other Activision games are important? Much of the focus of today's hearing was on the 31 billion Call of Duty franchise, and rightfully so, because the series is one of the consistently best earning franchise ever created. But there's a lot more to Activision billion-dollar portfolio. Lee hesitate mentioning Diablo, which is indeed a high-performing franchise, but not among Activision top 3, and he didn't do a great job highlighted the operational metrics of that franchise. It says here, then Lee gasped at Tony Hawk, which again is likely one of Activision billion-dollar franchise, but it wasn't enough. The opportunity to really highlight the sheer might of Activision Blizzard King has passed. Corley was genuinely interested to know what other game and franchise could be theoretically used as instrument of foreclosure against rivals. And then it says here, the reality is that Lee was unprepared for this rare opportunity. And then Tweakdown says, as I said before, Activision Blizzard is unique. There is no other independent non-platform holder domestic U.S. video game publisher that achieved the level of success that Activision Blizzard King does in terms of revenue across its target platforms and business model. And then it says what makes Activision unique is its breadth and scope of content. It's a skill penetrating new markets and its consistent operational performance across multiple metrics. So the Federal Trade Commission filed a lawsuit, and was very unprepared to explain Activision to explain Activision Blizzard. Yeah. Judge Corley had asked Lee specifically what other Activision games are importantly much of the focus of today's hearing was on on the 31 billion of Call of Duty franchise, and rightfully so, because the series is one of the consistently best earning franchise ever created. But there's a lot more to Activision billion-dollar portfolio. And the Federal Trade Commission filed a lawsuit to block the deal and failed to highlight the other billion-dollar games within the portfolio of Activision Blizzard. That is not good. You already had Phil Spencer using the house analogy and said they never purchased Activision Blizzard. he said he put $70 billion into an asset, and now the FTC lead what was his name, lead the key witness, the economist. You're an economist and you can't even explain Activision Blizzard and their top earning games and revenue and how much they really made, and why they could cause a foreclosure to rivals. That is bad. That is bad. Not good. You have to be prepared when you go in that courtroom. If you file a lawsuit, you best be prepared. Yeah. like an instructor told me one time. 95-5. 95% preparation, 5% execution. Look, know your argument when you go in that courtroom. Okay, that room is nothing to be played with. Okay, we talk about celebrities and presidents and athletes, about their positions, right? And they might have a little power based on their financial standings, but the judges got all the power. So when you go in that courtroom and they ask you a specific question, you best be prepared to answer it. And Activision Blizzard, not Activision Blizzard, the Federal Trade Commission was never prepared. Now you see why. Now you see why they filed for the injunction. They needed more time, huh? And you had a chance to really, what they say, put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. And you didn't do it. That's not good. That's not good. Yeah. And even the judge is probably shaking their heads, like, even the judge, even Corley is probably like shaking her head like this, like, you filed a lawsuit against Microsoft and you're not prepared for this? It's not looking good. So, the reason why Activision Blizzard is so successful is that they're consistent with their content. Okay? They're very consistent. Okay? This article is pretty long. I read it earlier. It took me about 20 minutes to get through it. It was so long. Yeah, and this article broke it down about Activision Blizzard and the revenues that they're built, and that the revenues that they bring in, whether it's from Call of Duty, Warcraft, Diablo, Candy Crush, or even Overwatch. And then there's Tony Hawk's. Activision has been consistent with their content. Consistency in the video game industry means success, and Activision Blizzard is living proof of that. Okay, yeah. And remember when Microsoft dropped Halo, dropped the Halo multiplayer? I think it was like on November. I think it was 2020. Was it 2020? I think it was 2022, 2021, when they dropped the multiplayer. You know where they got the idea from? Warzone. Because they were trying to get into the mobile market. Okay. When Activision created Warzone, that was really it was supposed to be a part of the mobile market. Yeah. And I would say Warzone really saved Call of Duty, to tell you the truth. Warzone. Yeah. Yeah. You got to know your argument when you go into those courtrooms, man. It's no joke. You know, you gotta be professional and respectful too. You know. Yeah. This article is pretty long, man. When I read through it, it took me 20 minutes. Says here, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Candy Crush. In 2021, the franchise made up 82% of the publisher's annual revenue, or 7.2 billion. In 2022, these three core franchises made 79% of net revenue, or 5.9 billion. Activision has been consistent. Now you see why they probably got rid of Western Zempella. You know, because based on the way how Western Zempella is doing games on at the studio that they're at, I think they were getting in the way, so to speak. So Activision had to let them go. Shows you 2020, Call of Duty 27 billion. 2021, Call of Duty 30 billion. In 2022, Call of Duty 31 billion. Oh yeah. Consistency is success, man. You have to be consistent. That's why Call of Duty is so successful. They were consistent year in and year out. And every time they came out with a new Call of Duty, the user base kept growing. You know. Yep. So yeah, when it comes to those courts, man, you better know your argument, man. Yeah. And, the economists for the Federal Trade Commission messed up big. So the judge is probably looking at them like, why did you file this court case again? Yeah. On this chart it shows, okay, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 one day made 500 million. Then it shows Modern Warfare 2, the one that they got out now. In 3 days it made 800 million. And then Modern Warfare made 600 million in 3 days. And then Modern Warfare 3 made 775 million in 5 days. And Modern Warfare 2, the first Modern Warfare 2, in 5 days made 550 million. You know. And then Call of Duty Black Ops 2 in 15 days made $1 billion. And then Modern Warfare 2, the one that they have now, it made $1 billion in 10 days. Yeah. Activision has been consistent with their content. That's why they're so successful. When World of Warcraft came out, they made bank. They made a lot of money. They did, you know. And then to add Candy Crush to the mix, oh yeah, they made they made a lot of revenue, man, by being consistent. Okay, consistency is success in the video game industry, you know. Yeah. But Federal Trade Commission right now is walking on thin ice right now. You file a lawsuit against Microsoft and you're not prepared, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Let's see here. First they were saying it was Activision wasn't going to bring Call of Duty to the Xbox Series X and S. First they were saying it was 70-30, but now it's an 80-20 split. Well, Microsoft had to do what they had to do, you know. Yeah. Right? World of Warcraft made $9 billion. as of 2017. And then the expansions, Shadowlands, 3.7 million. Battle of Azeroth, 3.4. That's in 2018. Shadowlands 2020, 3.7 million. Battle of Azeroth 2018, 3.4 million. Legions 2016, 3.3. And Mist of Pandaria 2012, 2.7 million. Oh yeah, they made some money, man. They made some. Oh no. And you always hear talking about, you always hear people say they don't play video games, right? Not according to Candy Crush. Listen to this. Candy Crush is also a big hit that has been downloaded over 3 billion times. There are an estimated 3.26 billion gamers in the world. Candy Crush. Activision has been consistent. Yeah. And the free-to-play sensation has helped King generate billions of dollars in annual revenues on a consistent basis. Consistency is key in the video game industry. This article is pretty long. When I read through it, I go through a reading run before I read something. It took me 20 minutes. I'm gonna have to try again. Anyway, it says here, Overwatch became a billion-dollar franchise in 2017, just a year after the game initially launched in 2016. The first game sold over 50 million copies. Activision is making money, man. Making a lot of money. Yeah. Then it talks about Diablo 3. It says Diablo franchise is also staggeringly large. Diablo 3 became the fastest selling PC game of all time with 3.5 million copies sold in the first 24 hours. Diablo 3 managed to sell 30 million copies in just 3 years. The game was launched in 2012, and in 2015 Blizzard reached D3 sales reached 30 million. Yeah, Activision is no ordinary company, man. They were making money. Then speak of Diablo 4 here. Diablo 4 earned 666 million in the first 5 days. Yeah. Yeah. It says Diablo 4 generates 40% of Blizzard total annual revenues. We're talking Activision Blizzard here. Yeah. They are making some money, man. And then this article goes pretty deep, you know. Into Activision business. This article is from Tweaktown. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box. But yeah, when you fail to, you guys are trying to block the deal. Imagine that, and then you go in the courts, and you don't have an argument, and you can't illustrate or demonstrate. What other games that Activision Blizzard have that makes billions, in the impact it might cost the competition? That's not looking good. Like I said before, know your argument. Yeah, man. It says in this way Activision has innovate, disrupt the free-to-play market, something that it led competitors like Microsoft to try out games like Halo Infinite, which splintered its multiplayer as a free-to-play experience outside of the core-based premium game. To execute this mobile plan, Activision teamed up with overseas experts. Activision made a deal with Chinese juggernaut Tencent to make Call of Duty mobile. The results speak for themselves. Oh yeah. So based on they made 1.5 billion revenues. That's Activision with Tencent. Remember I told you that Activision Blizzard was up for grab, and Tencent was one of the competitors. Says here they made 480 million in 2020, accounted for 16% of Call of Duty record 2020 revenue, 1 billion revenue in 2021. Yeah, Activision ain't no walk in the park, man. This company is no joke. So yeah, you got when the Federal Trade Commission filed their lawsuit, like I told you before, they weren't prepared. they rush to judgment, and then the judge called your lead economist. If you're an economist, you're supposed to know everything, and then when you go into court, you don't even know a thing. You can't explain anything. That looks bad. That looks bad, man. So yeah, the CMA and the FTC, man, they look bad right now. You know, I mean, block a deal when you can't even explain anything. That's bad. It says here, man. Says here, Call of Duty mobile performance is so noteworthy that Xbox Gaming CEO Phil Spencer remarked on the free-to-play game market earning in a private email with other Xbox management team members. In a two-day testimony in the FTC vs. Microsoft case, Spencer said, question, why were you interested in how much revenue came from COD Mobile? Spencer said, it is one of the biggest strategic assets for us is mobile and the mobile business for Call of Duty. Yeah, this Activision court case is revealing a lot when it comes to Microsoft versus the FTC and Microsoft purchasing Activision Blizzard. Yeah, this article covers a lot, man, and but the Federal Trade Commission right now look pretty bad. They look pretty bad, man. When you can't even, I mean, it's like Lee was trying to downplay all the games that that Activision had. They were so focused on Call of Duty. They were so focused on Call of Duty that they tried to ignore the other games like they don't even matter. And when the judge called you out and asked you to explain, and you can't explain, yeah, not looking good for the Federal Trade Commission right now. It is not looking good. Yeah, this article, man, it goes pretty deep. Let's see here. Talks about Blizzard and mobile earnings. Oh yeah, Blizzard was making. Oh, they made money, man. They made hundreds of millions. Yeah, pretty good article. Pretty long article, but pretty good. But yeah, when it comes to those courtrooms, know your argument. You know. Yeah. A judge call on you to explain something, you got to try to explain it. Put an effort into explaining it. Because the FTC and the CMA, all they got caught up in was Call of Duty. They weren't looking at the other games that Activision has, like Diablo, Candy Crush, Overwatch, StarCraft, World of Warcraft. And Tony Hawk. You got to be explained. You know, you got to be able to explain all the games and the revenue and the impact that it has on Activision as a whole, not just Call of Duty. Call of Duty. The reason why Call of Duty got so big is because of consistency. Consistency is success. If you go. I know the judge is probably shaking her head like, you know, just like shaking her head, man, because it's like she's looking at the Federal Trade Commission like, wait a minute, you file an injunction, I gave it to you. You file your lawsuit, you got it. You file your case late, we gave it to you. You try to block the deal, okay, we gave you that. You try to file an injunction, we gave it to you. We gave you more time. And now the judge, is asking you, like, okay, what other games besides Call of Duty that might cause harm to the, like to the competitors? And you think it's just all about Call of Duty? Call of Duty made $31 billion. But there's layers to Activision Blizzard. There's other games, that made them who they are. Diablo, Candy Crush. How many times? 3.25 billion players? That is big. Who else? Man, you got StarCraft and World of Warcraft. Yeah, StarCraft. Let's not forget about them. Oh yeah, people still play StarCraft. You know. Yeah. So man, and there's there's Tony Hawk's, and you can't like break down Activision Blizzard step by step, and then show the courts why the deal is bad or whatever. It's not good. It's not looking good for the FTC right now. Not looking good. Not looking good. Like I said before, you gotta provide. You gotta know your argument, and you gotta provide a solid, concrete argument. They can't even do that. And you're the lead economist. What if it's like, okay, what have they been studying? Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good right now. So yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys posted on what's going on with this Activision Blizzard. But this article is long. I did a practice read on it. Took me 20 minutes, and I said, okay, let me read. I'm gonna see if I can read through it again. See if I can get it lesser than that. But yeah, this article provides a lot. And good article, Tweet Tom. It's not looking good for the Federal Trade Commission right now. Not looking good. You're lead economist, and you are unprepared. I mean, Phil Spencer already grilled one of your lawyers already grilled one of your lawyers about the 68 or 70 billion dollar deal. But now you're lead economist, and we're talking Federal Trade Commission, and you're not prepared. Not looking good. Anyway, I'll leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing, or Dark Side.